From the F3 Nation podcast studios.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
This is the COT podcast, connecting the packs of F3 Nation through fitness, fellowship, and faith.
Andrew Maggio, 35, Wirebiter.
Mike Kiriko's 35, Saganaki.
Michael Barrett, 40, Rep Sleepy.
Peter Ranky, 63, Bambi.
COT podcast starts right now.
Shut up and sit down.
Just like that. Boys got him a little bit of a kicked up intro. I saw you jump up out of your seat a little bit there, Repeato. I said, oh, well, what do we have here?
Was that?
What are my eyes looking at?
Was that the Vader I saw in there?
It was a little, took some liberties with a few pieces of content for that intro there.
How much times or frame do you have before somebody calls an attorney?
12 seconds.
Oh, we're
12
good.
seconds or less. We're totally good. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the F3 Circle of Trust show. This is the new look version, 2.0 here for the COT. Got my man Repeato, JVR, Jamie Vance Roseberry. Got your boy here, Brian Jodas. Hello, Kitty. What's up, my brother? How are you today?
I'm good, man. Busy day, busy week. You sort of gotten past that, I think, New Year lull of nobody's like, do I really want to do this? Did I really say in that third week of December that this will be a problem the first week of January? And now that's come back full circle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just super busy around here. How about you guys? What's up? What's
All
up in
good,
your
man.
neck of the nape?
No, it's good, man. Listen, the sun is shining. It's gorgeous here across central North Carolina. Busy week. Yeah, busy stuff going, but a lot of good things, man. We're just thrilled that you guys would carve out some time to join us for the news of the F3 Nation. We're united in fitness, fellowship, and faith. And we say hello to everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube. We might be on X. I don't know. Maybe we're on Twitter or something. And our friends at NGBN TV. We're grateful that you have carved out a little bit of time on a Thursday afternoon to watch us live. If you're watching and if you comment, we get to talk to you kind of from this side of things, which was a blast last week. It was like the new thing for us to be able to do that.
Keep the comments coming.
That's right. Keep them coming. Good, man. Listen, feeling good. Got to see some great guys in the gloom this morning. Your boy Skipper on the birthday queue.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. Got to see some faces that I have not seen in a while. You know, in our local region, our former Nantan, the very first Nantan of F3 Carpex, none other than Ma Bell, hosting the Resolution, a 6-day in a row, 10 miles a day running challenge.
Right.
So they're on day 4. He's still got a strong group going. Some of those guys starting to look a little weathered, as you'd expect.
As you'd expect after 40 plus miles in 4 days.
4 days. Yeah, which is pretty impressive. But what was cool is I was at Bradford's Ordinary this morning. You weren't there.
No, I was just late.
We've
had a sick one in the house, and I was up late working on some mammon stuff.
This guy blaming his family for all of his problems.
Just saying,
But it was good, man, because we had a nice big COT there because there were some guys that came in from South Cary and Green Level and maybe even a couple Peak City boys because I saw the Joker there running. So that's always nice, right? A little bit larger COT.
You had the same thing yesterday. You queued, and then all those guys. The route was at the AO. SNS yesterday, Bond Park.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, which is good. All right, let's get.
We're doing a ruck on this on Saturday morning.
We are closing out the last day of the resolution on Saturday. They're doing. I think he calls it the Ghost on a Rope.
Yeah,
is the name of the route. Goes through Umstead, but we're going to ruck it 10.27 or something on the ruck.
Light work.
It's a long ruck, bro. 10-mile ruck.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to boogie. All right, let's get into some news of the F3 Nation. What do you say? We mentioned this last week, and it's how we're airing to you live today on NGBN. This amazing new partnership between all of our guys here at F3 and NGBN, a network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. The sneak peek launch coming up in 18 days, man.
A mere couple of weeks.
This thing's gonna be launching. Go to ngBN.tv, get all the info there. But gentlemen, we need your help, right? Because we got to come out the gate swinging. When the sneak peek launches, you're going to be able to watch our show there, Hunt for Wellness, stuff we're trying, plus a lot of other great shows and content.
Oh, what was that? What was that
But
back there?
it's a little pickup 6 action. But we're going to need your help, F3 men, getting this app downloaded right on Roku, Amazon Fire. Apple might be a little bit. We're going to just start rolling it out on all these apps, app stores.
Yep.
So be on the lookout. It'll be in the newsletter. Hopefully you'll be getting some more comms about that. But keep sort of Jan 29 circled. One, a little tap request, like a praise for what we're doing, but also a prayer request. Like it's a lot of work going into launching this thing, not just from the F3 side of the house, but also from the NGBN side of the house as well. So we need your well wishes and prayers and all that kind of stuff. But we also need you teed up to be ready to go download that thing and like help us get this thing kicking out the gate.
Yeah. And if anybody's tuning in for that didn't catch last week's show, I highly recommend people, go back and listen to that because it gives a good primer on how missionally we are aligned, how F3 is, as well as the mission of NGBN TV to save lives and reduce suicide rates among men 40s, 50s, and 60s, and just provide a place for all kinds of entertainment and shows and content specifically designed and tailored to men just like us. So run it back last week and see where we're at, and be sure to keep tuned in for getting those downloads as soon as they're available.
That's Repeato. I'm Hello Kitty. You're watching the Circle of Trust show. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, NGBN.TV. I got an email in my inbox today from the boys over at the F3 gear store. And it's that time of year again for the artistes, for the graphic designers, for the talented packs to submit their F3 logo of the year. So every year we've got this contest. We run one national sort of jersey, right? Shirt with the F3 logo on the front, and then a PAX designed logo that encompasses the year, right? The 2024 F3 shirt. That contest is open now. I believe I saw the date when it closes is 21 January. So you got about 10 days to get your designs in, right? So be looking for your email. It says, help create this year's official shirt. Should have an email from the F3 gear store. And you can submit to a Google folder. There's a marketing team that goes through them, and then a winner is crowned.
And is this the contest where you don't have to be an expert artist at actually your final design? Like you want to just, if you can get something on paper that's like your idea, your vision, we've got people on staff that can take it to a next level. Is that right? Is that
well? We have some guys, some talented packs across the nation that are making incredible logos, and they'll submit some for the contest, I would assume. But you're right. I'm glad you brought that up. Even if you just have a concept and you can sketch it out, right? Or even sort of clip art, right? And say, look, hey, this isn't production quality, but here's the idea, right? You can win that way too, right? Because then we can get one of those talented designer packs across the nation to bring this thing to life. So I'm glad you brought that up. Good mention as well.
I'm here for you and for them.
Yeah, no, you really are. This week's newsletter. Did you get a chance to read this week's F3 Nation newsletter?
Well, point of order, I make a point to always read it every week. But this particular week had me very much reflecting on the contents of this week's newsletter.
Yeah. So F3Nation.com, you can sign up for it. There's a little banner right on the side. The comms team led by Italian Job, who co-host of the Stuff Worth Trying show, they really do a great job of just collecting information from across the nation. We come here weekly to talk to you guys about it, right? And show it to you and hear from the packs on the hotline and all that kind of stuff. But they really do a great job, again, that newsletter, all in an effort to give you information, to connect you to something bigger than yourself. But there's oftentimes there will be a PAX submitted story, right? Short story. This one this week was pretty intense and emotional. I'm going to read part of it to you now. Right. If you'll allow me. It came from our man Bono out of ENC. A lot of guys know Bono, huge in the grow ruck space, great leader, heck of a human. And the premise was talking about sort of pushing these rocks in your life. And I'll read you this part because he's coming off of what was a really intense 2 weeks around an onset of an illness for his father. So let's just read it because this gives you, and if you're new to F3, father-in-law, that's right. If you're new to F3, this will shed some light when we say this thing is more than a workout. What we're going to read to you. It says, it was an intense 16 days watching the man I love go from cutting grass and picking up pine cones in his yard to dying in an ICU bed. It meant that my bride or I was in the hospital overnight, all but 3 nights. It meant getting up, going to work with a suit on, changing into my comfortable ruck pants and grow ruck shirt, sweatshirt to sleep in, then changing back into the same suit or maybe a different shirt to go back to work. It meant that I wasn't at the hospital. If I wasn't at the hospital, I was with my girls. It meant that I was missing a workout for Silverback, who's one of my BRR teammates who's undergoing his own cancer treatment, so I could keep and help and reposition my father-in-law every 20 minutes because of the pain. It meant helping a man go to the bathroom because he couldn't shift in bed for some reason. It meant putting ice chips in his mouth because he went 4 days with no food or drink. It meant eating hospital food and learning to go to the cafeteria at 06 when it was hot and fresh. It meant going to work tired, having to train all day, go back to the hospital. Through it all, it also meant tapping into lessons learned from prior CSOP events. It meant being a sunshine bazooka when the others seemed lost. It meant talking firmly to my father-in-law about hope, about his 2-week-old granddaughter, about Christmas and not acting like a ass. It meant knowing the power of holding a man's hand and giving him hope when it really hurt. I need a minute. That line got me. Yep. It meant not showing a sign of weakness or fear because that weakness and fear had already been pounded out of me during prior events. It also meant reaching out to my F3 brothers to help energize me, to work out with them, have an adult beverage with them, to have just a text with them, to hear that they love me, to be able to say back to them, to follow his wishes, to remove that breathing tube. I had done those things over the 10 Grow Rucks and 10 Go Ruck events over the last 8 years. He's really talking about just training for things you can't really have to want to prepare for. I had to push the rock. I think I was ready when God called me to be present, to be his hand, to both comfort and provide needed strength. This morning, I'm thinking that maybe I do F3 because I have realized that I have to get ready for the expected so I can be ready for the unexpected. I have to practice preparedness in order to lead my family when they need me. The reason I get up and go to work out at 5:30 when it's 28 degrees outside is so that I'm durable. I can carry that load for my family, and in this case, my father-in-law, when it's needed. The last 3 weeks have sucked so bad. And maybe, just maybe, this is another version of God asking me to push the rock. It really sucks, and I'm so glad I have the honor of doing so with the men of F3 Nation. Bono, to just put all that out there is admirable in and of itself.
Yeah. It's a level of vulnerability that not a lot of us are comfortable with, right? And to be able to put pen to paper and pour that emotion out onto the page after such a tumultuous time for him personally, for him and his bride, for the family, for the relationship with him and his father-in-law. I mean, it's a heavy thing to talk about and think about, but it is, a piece of, why we're here, why we're doing what we're doing, so that in these moments, in these times that are unforeseen, in what we always say in the GTE world, in times of high stress and limited visibility, you can be counted upon to lead yourself so that you can lead others through that darkness, and relying on others around you or lessons learned through training. And that goes well beyond physical training. That's emotional training. That's different levels of conversations with your shield lock or with the guys that you see regularly or your close friends in varying settings. So there's a lot of pieces to take out of this. And I would encourage everybody to go read the entirety of what he wrote, because you read about maybe a third to a half of it. There's some other really good stuff in there about his how he relates his experience to the Lord calling upon someone to push a rock day in and day out without any reason to why, and it's never going to move, but you keep pushing it because of what it's doing to transform your body to be prepared for something that you can move or you can break through. So there's a lot of good wisdom in that. And so I just, thank you, Bono, for putting it out there.
The 45 minutes or an hour that we meet daily for this workout thing, pale in comparison to the impacts that you take beyond the gloom with you into your family and your community. I think his note is evident of that. We've got T-claps coming up. We got calls from the packs. We got the quote worth Repeato, but first, a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Can't no one stop me, yeah, bring it in. I can't win, yeah, I can't win. Top down, faded windows tinted. Push it with it, push it to the limit.
We cannot wait any longer. Men are in need of community, brotherhood, and a place to call home. The time is now, and that place is NGBN TV. Powered by men just like you, dedicated to launching a one-of-a-kind streaming TV network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Our goal is to inspire, entertain, celebrate, educate, and support men. The NGBN TV sneak peek is launching January 29th. We need you on this journey with us. Ad rates at NGBN TV will never be this low again. So join our movement on NGBN.TV and contact us today. NGBN TV, a network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, coming January 29th. And with that space available, you can be a part of this show, right? If you're watching at home, you're watching at work today, and you think, well, I've got a brand, an organization, a company, a product, something I'd love to get in front of thousands of men weekly that join us here to watch a show either live or on demand, because those are the kind of numbers that the F3 shows are producing. Let us know. Email us cot@f3nation.com. We've got sponsorship spots available on this very show. That commercial spot you just saw could be yours. Really incredible rates. Come be a part of this thing and help us get F3 to more men, right? That's what we're doing here. Help us spread this thing. Help us grow this pirate ship of NGBN, but also grow the reach that we've got for F3. Try to put some more resources into this thing to go reach more men across the world, which is what we've been doing over the last few years, which has been pretty incredible.
Yeah, we had Kenya tuning in Nigeria last week. So
sure did.
Waiting to see who's our international guest this week. That's
right. All right. We got T-claps to give out. And as always, if you want to be a part of the show, there's two great ways you can reach us. You can email us, cot@f3nation.com, right? Send us an update. Guys, here's what's going on in my region. Send us pictures. Here's from our latest CSOP. Or send us videos, voicemails, all that right to the email address. Or you can always call the PAX hotline, 844-4COT-PAX. That's how you can leave us a message. You can get on these very airwaves. We ask you just try to keep it to about 2 minutes. And if you go longer than 3, it's going to cut you off anyways. So,
yeah. Well, and sending us pictures and things, we showed them last week. So we talked about how it's the first time you and I always see those things. But now with this platform and the way we're doing things, everybody who's watching gets to see those pictures of those third F projects, those playground redos, those Habitat for Humanity pictures, or CSOPs, all the above. So we'd love to be inundated and have the problem of having to pick and choose exactly what to try to condense in our show. So,
last year I got to travel down to Huntsville, Alabama, and I went over to Florence and Muscle Shoals to be a part of a really cool golf event with the Mark Forrester Foundation. And shout out to those guys. Mark killed in combat, and his brother and his family have done a great job to honor his legacy. But before that, Ian Hill, who has started NGBN, and I were talking about, he was down in Florence quite a bit. He's like, God, they need F3 so bad over in Florence. So we had some conversations, and we talked to some Huntsville guys who were like, we know some guys in Florence, and now F3 is in sort of that Florence, Muscle Shoals area, which has been pretty incredible. I got to work out and lead a workout for those guys while we're down there. Well, those boys are going to be hosting GTE Fit and One over in Huntsville, right? Coming up later this year. So Water Wings was like, well, I got an update and a challenge. I heard about all this.
My boy Water Wings?
Your boy Water Wings. You've worked out with him too.
I've had dinner in his home. His wife cooked a lovely meal.
Broken bread with him. But he said, hey man, we're hosting this GT and we need to get Ian Hill down here. So let's see what Water Wings had to say.
Good morning, Hello Kitty. It's Water Wings from Huntsville. The last time that you, Ian Hill, and I spoke, we were trying to launch an F3 workout, and he didn't have an F3 name. I don't know if that's changed. I hope it has. But if it hasn't, I've got a great opportunity for him. Coming up on Labor Day weekend of this year, F3 Huntsville is hosting GTE 51. And we would love to invite Ian to participate and to be there. I'll cover his registration fee and cost so that he can attend and and experience F3 in all of its glory. If you have any questions, let me know. Last thing is, if he could snap a football further than I can, or whatever he wants to do, more accurately, however that works, I'll do 100 burpees. That's all I got, man, out here.
I think it's got to be the accuracy of the snap. I think it's hilarious.
I need to get educated on lawn snapping. But yeah,
You do.
add it to the list.
Add it to the things that you
I need to get up
more
to speed
about.
on. That's awesome. Good to see him. I believe that's his like kitchen area.
Well, you've been in his home, so
yeah.
you would know. I'm excited that those guys got that GTE on the schedule. I will tell you, my man Ian Hill is pursuing to be the oldest man to play Division I college football. Hey, Miss Roseboro checking in.
Hot sauce,
great. Hot sauce is checking in.
Yeah, she's the one who's homesick.
Yeah, so Ian is attempting to be the oldest man to play college football, and Labor Day weekend, ideally, he'll be busy. But
yeah,
I still love the challenge, Wings. I love it. Keep it coming, boys. Be a part of the show with us. We saw a neat thing. I think I saw it come across the Twitter machine. The boys out of F3 Afton, which if you're not sure where that is, it's the Mecca region over by Charlotte. Okay. Right?
Lower McDougal, or is that?
It's a whole area. It's a whole area over there. But
There's
they're calling it the Mount Afton Challenge. And what's neat is the F3 guys, from what I can tell, host it, but they
Brian, we lost your audio, my guy. Well, this is live television, folks. Brian, we lost your audio in the middle of that. I'm not sure maybe what happened there. But he's talking about this thing. I have no idea about it. This is what we do on these live shows, right? Maybe we can switch to a commercial real quick and then come back and see if Brian's audio is back. Not yet.
I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Can't no one stop me, yeah, bring it in. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Top down, faded windows tinted. Push it with it, push it to the limit.
This is NGBN TV, a network for men and home to top experts, speakers, authors, and more. Streaming TV for men, created by men.
But why?
Why are we a network that inspires,
educates, entertains, celebrates, and supports
men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, simply to save men's lives?
There is an epidemic in our community,
and it's taking men from us.
I'm talking about mental health and suicide.
But we have an answer, and it's streaming, live shows, sports, concerts, and more.
In a real way for men to lock shields.
We can't wait to launch this TV network for you and with you.
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 Join our movement at ngbn.tv, coming January 2024.
No,
we're still. Oh no, I was just kidding.
I know.
What happened?
I don't know. You were in the middle of a nice sentence talking about the Afton Challenge.
No, I was going to blame Fat Max for technical issues. It was 100% me. I swiped across. I knocked the cord out of my thing. I'm an idiot. People.
User error.
I was checking the specs on the rotary girder. I'm an idiot.
No, I was just going to come back and say, hey,
great job though. Hey, way to send a break. I could hear it. Way to send a break. Like, what a pro, man. You're becoming a broadcaster.
Well, the pro in me had about a stage 14 out of 10 level of panic when you go mute and the sidekick in the sidecar of the motorcycle's all of a sudden driving. So yeah, no, it's good. But this is part of our experience. This is part of the problem. This is what everybody pays for, right? This is why they have the subscriptions that they have.
Sure. Mount Afton Challenge, is that where we left it off?
That's where we left off.
Let's go back to it. Let's jump right back into it.
Yeah.
So it's this weekend. Here's why we're telling you about it. One, if you can get over there and be a part of it, great. But you can also support those guys. They're doing a fundraiser, and look why. mental health, suicide prevention services in their local area. Obviously, mission in line with everything we're doing here.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, we're proud of those guys for stepping in that space, hosting an event, 1 mile laps for 2 hours, whoever can do the most. And so I got to figure people are going to be. So scan that QR code, go support them, check them out. Mount Afton, really doing good stuff.
Awesome.
Also, mark your calendars for next Saturday, January 13th. So that's coming up this weekend as well.
Mm-hmm.
The boys in Greensboro over at Wakanda have a big cleanup day. So if you're watching, listening in the Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Triad area, really,
Mm-hmm.
of North Carolina, and you want to go over and help those guys clean up, get up with the F3 Greensboro guys, bring gloves, trash bags, rakes, Biscuitville biscuits and coffee will be provided. I mean, that's reason enough, right?
Sold.
So good to go there,
yeah.
which is amazing. So those guys.
Do you know Biscuitville does sausage balls if you ask for them?
Are you serious?
Yeah, you can get a whole box of them.
That's
pro tip.
Maybe the best news I've heard all day.
Fat kid pro tip over here from Repeato.
Hey, listen, man, we're here for fitness, all right? But every now, us too, we like to eat. Yeah. All right, we got another call to get to. It's coming out of New Orleans. Our boy Frack Sack talking about the NOLA Run Cajun Run.
Happy New Year. Hello, Kitty and Repeato. This is Frack Sack coming at you from New Orleans. The New Year upon us gets us closer to the month of February, which in New Orleans, the month of February means it's Run Cajun Run time, which is our premier fundraising event for the year. So I wanted to share this with you and let you know what a true month-long fundraiser looks like. First of all, Run Cajun Run, you can find it at runcajunrun.com. What we do is we support Youth Run NOLA. It's one of the organizations which creates opportunities for young people to develop healthier lifestyles to build a more interconnected community through running. And we also support this year, we're going to support this organization called Weibo Giving, which is a foundation created to honor the legacy of a young man that passed shortly after birth, Everett Mark McGregor. And they benefit the Oshner for Children's Life Fund that you can read about this amazing story at runcajunrun.com. Anyways, what I wanted to share with you is that we basically have teams of 7, and you don't have to be on a team. But we have several different events throughout the month of February. And it starts with an opening event. We have our run with Youth Run NOLA. We have, it's Mardi Gras time here, so we have something called the Endymion Run. If you know what Mardi Gras is, you might know what that is. We have an event called If Only a Mile. I encourage you to check that one out. I'm not going to get too far into it. We have the City Pork, which is a pork roast, and 6 5Ks, go figure. And then we also have the closing night on the 29th. And basically, I just wanted to share this with the nation, let you all know. And mainly, though, I wanted to let you all know that New Orleans was the place of the first and only to date of F3 Nation's GRE. That's right. We are the runners. So if anybody thinks they can run more than anyone in New Orleans, I encourage you to go check out the website. Maybe even sign up, because you don't have to be in New Orleans to run. You just run, log your miles, and see what you got. Anyways, just wanted to share what's going on here in New Orleans. Our fundraising event coming up. Encourage you to check it out. Potentially you can sign up. See if the nation's got what New Orleans has. Anyways, that's all I got. Back out.
It's the perfect amount of an update and a challenge.
Yeah,
because the men are like, oh wait, what do we have to do now to try to beat someone else?
Yeah,
that's happening.
Yeah, throw that down and see just how many people sign up. I immediately thought of like 12 people in our region alone that'd be like, oh, okay, hard commit.
Do you want us to do that? Like, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Amazing. Love seeing you guys watching live across Facebook, YouTube, NGBN TV. I see guys like Evergreen, Febreze is in there, Achilles. Man, Scrubs is there. Iron Meadow. 12th Man is the guy's name. He's from F3 Iron Meadow. Man, NGBN guys. Dave Bradley's in the house. Ian was watching.
Nice.
Awesome. Saw the Primal Mindset in there. Man, Mig Tig from St. Louis.
Did I see a UK? That might have been our international guest today. Was somebody from the UK pop up? I can't remember.
Love it. Guys, thanks for being a part of the show with us.
Yeah, the Garden
We couldn't do it
UK.
without you. Yeah, there we go. Look at that, man. There we go. We're international 2 weeks in a row, baby. Got a hell of a run going here.
I'd call that a streak.
I would too. Big time. All right. Hunt for Wellness is coming up, but it's connected to this update we saw come from Ralph out of St. Louis. Matt Crossman said an anonymous donor promised $1 for every burpee we did at this morning's The Last Stop AO workout, up to 10 G's, with the proceeds going to Shriners. To get that money, we had to match his 10 G's on our own and put up 20,000 burpees. For every dollar we fell short, he'd keep $1. For every burpee we fell short, he'd keep $1. I don't know if I read that right, but you get the sense. At noon yesterday, I thought we were going to come up short and we would owe the anonymous donor money. By my calculations, we were going to miss each by more than 5,000. A local TV station had to agree to do a story on our quest. So he texted a bunch of guys, suggested we should steer the TV reporter in a different direction, because who wants to do a story on a bunch of guys who barely do any burpees and bupkis on terms of money? I might have overreacted. I definitely underestimated my MABA Maniacs Make America Burpee Again brothers,
right?
Which meant we completed 22,720 burpees and raised 10,500 plus. So the men stepped up and made it happen in their area, which is pretty cool, and raising money for a great cause. And it's part of that big push, right? That big push that the boys in St. Louis started up the mega region to make America burpee again. And our boy Bones from the Hunt for Wellness show, which airs on the F3 family of podcasts and be a part of this very network, is talking about why Make America Burpee Again is good for you and your health and wellness. Let's check in with Bones.
Hello, COT Podcast. It's another great day for wellness. This is Bones with a health tip for the Pax of F3 Nation. Pax, it's the start of a new year, which means that it's time to make America burpee again. That's right, it's that time for the Mamba Challenge, and PACs across the globe are challenging themselves to complete 3,100 burpees in the month of January. Why? Well, it's not only a great way of accelerating your king, but it points out something much bigger, which is fall down, get back up, together. We all fall down, we all get back up, we must not do either one alone. And although that fact alone is enough to jump into this challenge, there are several other benefits to doing burpees. The burpee was invented in 1939 by a PhD candidate in applied physiology at Columbia University Teachers College, named, you guessed it, Royal H. Burpee. As part of his studies, Burpee was tasked with finding a way of measuring a person's level of fitness and endurance. Back in the 30s and 40s, very few people emphasized physical fitness and exercise, and Burpee was looking for a way to change that. Burpee decided to look for ways of working out that could be scaled up or down, depending on the fitness levels and abilities of the participants. While looking for a fitness test to determine an individual's overall abilities, he wrote down the following points when creating a 4-step exercise to help do precisely that. First, squat down, placing both hands flat on the ground in front of you. Pop both feet back into a plank position. Bring both feet back forwards to a squatting position. Stand back up. Sound familiar? Now, it wasn't until World War II, when the U.S. Army adopted the burpee in their own fitness test, that the push-up and jump was added, and the test measured how many burpees a soldier could perform in 20 seconds. Today, there are many variations of the burpee, and it is heralded as one of the most difficult exercises to perform for long periods of time and for multiple reps. The advantages of burpees are numerous and include a full body workout. No equipment needed, can be done almost anywhere, pushes all fitness levels, great for cardiovascular health, builds muscle, and helps you lose weight. So Pax, get out and do some burpees. And if you haven't already, check out f3mamba.com and sign up to help make America burpee again. Kitty and Repeato, how many burpees have you done this month? Keep up the good work, man. This has been Bones guiding the Pax of F3 Nation on their hunt for wellness. Gotta go.
Why does he gotta ask that?
Well, it's more than one.
It's not 100 a day. All right. It's not 100 a day.
No.
But I'll tell you what, man, if you spread it out, it's really not that, it's not that bad, boys and gals watching.
Yeah.
10 times, 10 times a day. And if you're leading an F3 workout, you can easily stop 10 times in 45 minutes and do 10 in a row.
For sure. Yeah. You can do them in warm up. You can do them throughout in between the things. You can do them in Mary. You can just,
All right. So let's talk about how great the name Royal H Burpee is.
Have you ever seen a picture of Royal H Burpee?
He's outstanding. He's outstanding.
He's got a chest like a whiskey barrel.
He looks like what you think he would look like. I have to imagine it was Burpee would have been my guess, but the name Royal is outstanding. And then
maybe
look,
it's Royale, like
Royale H Burpee. I'm not trying to start a whole feud here, Memphis, but
land of rules.
There is no mention of a clap at all in how you do the thing.
Plus, according to Bones, it wasn't even until the Army got a hold of the thing that they added
through the dang push-up and the jump. Yeah. He was just boom, 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 boom.
Leave it to the Army.
Leave it to the Army to ruin a good time. No, those guys have been bailing us out for a while. Appreciate you guys. They've been doing good work. Big fan of their work. Hey, Jane, how you feeling? You feeling good?
Outstanding.
Are you ready for the most waited on moment of the show?
It's easily why people are still watching.
It's why they're still here. There's no doubt. If there's any reason why they're still here, it's for the weekly quote worth Repeato. And take it away, my friend.
Well, this week, I thought about what to do as we build off of last week. And each week, as the guys have been and gals have been listening for years know that I bucket these in bins or I do certain things. But as we continue to sort of embark on a new year, thinking about challenges, personal challenges together, regional things in your household, I came across this Mark Twain quote that I was sort of surprised that it was Mark Twain. But the quote being, "A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval." And it's a very short sentence.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot in there to unpack personally, and it would be a good topic for a ruck conversation.
It would be a good ruck topic.
Maybe we'll break it down on Saturday morning.
We should do that.
A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. And I think there's a lot in there for me personally that if you're not comfortable in who you are and the things that you're doing, what are you doing to improve that scenario? And if you're constantly comparing yourself to others around you and constantly looking for others' approval in somehow yourself, then you're never going to achieve a level of satisfaction that's going to allow you to take on new tasks, new challenges, and continue to accelerate. So I think there's a lot in there to talk about, and maybe some folks across the nation will grab it and go and run with it and send me a note
I'd love
about
to
what
see.
they talk about it.
One of the things, you know what I'd love to do? Hear me out. 8444 COT Packs. Why don't you call us? Leave us a 1 to 2 minute voicemail on your take on it. I'm a little stuck on comfortable.
Okay.
But I also think you just said a word that I think could swap out. Twain, listen, better writer than I'll ever be. Don't get me wrong. Satisfied. Man cannot be satisfied without his own approval.
Yeah.
I get stuck on comfortable, and maybe it's because we just talk about doing uncomfortable things all the time and being okay being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I think the underlying point is, and it's a big lesson for all you guys, is you better get right with yourself first and foremost.
Yeah.
Right. You better love that man looking back at you in the mirror. And if not, let's work through it.
And I think I thought about it a lot too as a dad and emulating self-confidence and comfortableness in one's own skin so that your children see that in you and can build up that confidence and comfortability in themselves.
I like that. Yeah.
Which is another form of being a leader in your household. So a lot to digest there. So would like you said, would love folks to tackle it. Give us a call, shoot us a note, do something.
Yep. Amazing. Well, that's been this episode of the Circle of Trust Show. We're here every Thursday now. Our goal is to be here every Thursday, 2:15 p.m. live across Facebook, YouTube. I did check. We are on the Elon Musk machine and on ngbn.tv. My brother, I love you. I'll see you soon.
All right, man. Love you too. Have a great day.
That's right. To the men of F3 Nation, if another man hasn't told you this today, we love you. The nation loves you. Go out there, keep getting after it. We'll see you next week. This has been the COT Podcast, connecting the Pax of F3 Nation to something bigger than themselves. Please rate and review our show. Follow us on Twitter at F3COT Podcast and connect with the show at COT@F3Nation.com or by leaving us a voicemail at 844-4COT-PAX. I'm Brian Jodis, 42, Hello Kitty.
And I'm Jamie Roseborough, 40, Repeato.
And this has been the Circle of Trust Podcast.